Afternoon, YouTube. This is the Double A bringing you a show. Today we're going to be talking about our Tennessee Titans who await the draft on Thursday night. And we don't really know who they're going to draft now. Everyone keeps saying it's Jerymiha Love from Notre Dame. But we're going to get in on that with the show. And we'll talk about it later. A lot to unpack. Good morning. This is the Shallow Cross Sports Network with the Double A bringing you another show. We're talking Tennessee Titans today. The Titans right now are preparing for the draft on Thursday. And like I said earlier in the intro, we don't really know who they're going to draft right now. Just looking at the mock drafts, number one for sure is Mendoza. From Fernando Mendoza from Indiana, going to the Raiders. And then things get tricky at 2, 3, and 4. We don't really know what the Jets are going to do at number 2. We don't know if they're going to trade out or the at the number 3 spot. We don't know what Arizona's going to do. And of course, the Titans is really got to see what happens at 2, 3, and 3 in order to figure out what they're going to do. But just looking at it, the Titans probably are going to draft. Just looking at it, the Titans look like they have a choice of 3 or 4 players. If the Jets draft Bailey from Texas Tech at number 2, then you look for Arizona to either draft Arvelle Reese, Sonny Styles, or trade back. And for someone who wants to get up there to get Love. But if Love is available, then Tennessee's going to take him at number 4. But if he's not available, then it's a toss-up between Sonny Styles, Arvelle Reese, and the wide receiver from Ohio State. And we'll get into that and look at that. But just looking at so what the Titans have done in free agency so far, they signed a lot of players, and I'll pop it over there to you. But they signed a lot of players in free agency, and then they re-signed some players. Just looking at it across the board here, you got Wan'Dale Robinson. Wan'Dale had a real good year with the Giants. I think he had over 1,000 yards receiving. He had over 100 some yards catching that from a slot position. And then of course Franklin, of course, Robert Saleh is familiar with him, and he probably is going to be able to fit in well with the Titans. I'm just looking here at the free agency. Let me pull a bit up here on my phone here, but it looks like the Titans are projected, even with these free agents. Most of pundits project them to win 6 games at least. I hope they do better than that. But Wan'Dale Robinson, very quick and twitchy receiver, what they say. and that's for what I see on film on him. He's every bit of what they say he is, and he fits the modern offense that most of the teams in the NFL emphasize. And of course Oliver, they re-signed him. He provides depth. Now it's a lot of receivers out there now. They picked up several receivers, but so it's going to be a difficult task. But I think most teams keep around 10, 11 receivers, and you may have 4 or 5 that's actually out there playing all the time. And but they keep 11 around for special teams and so forth. So with Oliver's just been sticking around for years, and then of course they drafted they signed Cordell Flott, and Flott what I hear on him is Flott is a Flott they got Flott from the Giants, so it's a lot you can see the narrative where the former head coach of the Giants is now the OC of the Titans, and he's bringing in guys he believes that can help the Titans uh, win some games and so forth. And of course, Cordell Flott is one of his players from the New York Giants. And so they bought in. Looking at the defensive backs, they bought in Cordell Flott, Alante Taylor, former I think he's from Manchester, Tennessee, former UT Vol, and they bought in Josh Williams from the Chiefs, and so the secondary, and then of course Jarek Reed is a safety. They bought him in from Seattle. I think he may be a corner. Yeah, he's a safety. He's a safety, and so they're trying to upgrade the secondary. Of course, the Snead guy that we got from Kansas City, he just never panned out. Stayed hurt a lot, and so he's gone. I think it was Darius Snead. Anyway, he's gone, and then of course they bought in. They re-signed Joey Slaughter, kicker, and Tommy Townsend. They got him. He's a special teams guy too. They got him. He's a punter. Got him from the Chiefs, and then of course the final grade people, they give him a B. I give him a B, maybe a B plus on what they picked up in the in free agency, and then let's see here, and it looks like they picked up Hendon Hooker, and and Mitch Trubisky. Mitch Trubisky, he's been around. It's hard to believe that it's been 10 years for Mitch Trubisky, especially as a backup. Basically, he did start a lot of games, but they got him up from the Buffalo Bills. He was the backup up there to Allen, and so they got him in free agency, and he's going to be a bridge quarterback basically, and he's consistent. He's a very inconsistent processing was his biggest problem. But as far as getting the ball out and throwing and making all the throws and doing all that, Mitch can give you a guy that can get you through a couple of games in case the starter, in case Ward gets hurt. The other thing too, Hooker's going to be a developmental player. He he's a very good deep ball thrower. Has a lot of touch, mobility, but he's coming off that knee injury, so it's been hurting him for a while. And hopefully Tennessee, he can get in here with Tennessee and Brian Daboll and actually develop a little more to where he can be a backup to Cam Ward. And then of course they picked up Daniel Bellinger, a tight end, and he's going to add some more depth to the room. Gunnar Hams, the kid we got from Texas last year, he's very good, and so he was so good that we were able to let Chiggy go in free agency. So that's what's happening with the tight ends. And then of course I picked up Cordell Volson, a guard, and Austin Slotman from the New York Giants. So that's another familiarity player for Brian Gable, and so we'll see what happens with him. And Bolson's very physical downhill guard. He's a very downhill uh, blocker, and he has a lot of power and run identities, And then of course Slotman, they got him for depth on the offensive line. The defensive additions, of course, John Franklin Myers. He is he's basically a player that Robert Saleh knows from his time with the Jets, and he bought him in. He's an interior pass rusher, versatility, three technique and five technique. So basically the three technique, and my assessment of three technique is that he gonna line up at the you got the 1 and the 2 and the 3. He gonna line up right over the guard and penetrate from that spot in the third hole, and then the 5 he can go out there on the outside in between the tackles, or right there beside the tackle, or head on with the tackle, and actually penetrate in and get into the quarterback and stop the run right there. And so that's what. And he has proven production. Jordan Elliott, another defensive tackle, he picked him up. He improves depth. He's a good pass rusher and a good run stopper. And then, and like I already went over the secondary folks, they picked up a defensive end, Martin, the defensive end that they picked up. He's going to provide depth and help on the edge, especially if we don't get a good edge rusher in the draft, and that's one of the things that the Titans need. Like I said earlier, the Titans could draft uh, Arvelle Reese, or still could get Baine, but I don't believe it'll be Baine. But still could get Baine, and still could get Bailey, and if it's not those guys and they don't get Love, it could be Carnell Tate, wide receiver. So we'll see what happens, But the people, the thing is, it's about 4 or 5 guys out there that they could get at number 4, and hopefully they get the better guy. Now, if they don't go with Love, another scenario that I've been thinking about, you got Washington, and then you got the other running back from Notre Dame sitting right there at the top of the second round. So the Titans have the number 35 pick at the top of the second round. They could use that number 35 to go and get Washington, or the kid from Notre Dame. I can't think of his name right now. But Washington is a bigger back. Washington's bigger than Love and the other kid from Notre Dame, and he's fast. I think he's the fastest running back at the combine. He ran a 4.33 at 226 pounds, and he's like 6'1", 6'2", and he has a lot of time on that on his wheels. A lot of carries. He played at I think at New Mexico, I believe, or New Mexico State, New Mexico, I believe, or New Mexico State, and then he transferred in the portal to Arkansas. So he's a good back. I've seen him catch the ball out of the backfield. He can do it all. So he may be a guy that the Titans may want to look for if the other kid from Notre Dame is gone in the first round. So and then the other thing too is we could get the defensive end Cassius, can't think his last name, from Texas A&M, and he's another short arm defensive end. He could be sitting there too at number 35 also. So this draft looks like to me is very good for offensive tackle. I mean, it's good at offensive tackle. It's not as good at wide receiver. It's pretty good at corner and safety. And tight end's not that good. Guard plays not that good. So this draft is not as unique as some of the other drafts, like last year's draft or the draft before. But anyway, so the Titans are trying to show up the wide receiver room. They picked up KJ Osborne and Lance McCutcheon. They both guys that's been what they call well traveled, and then they re-signed Julius Chestnut as running back. So that means it really doesn't mean a lot because they got to move. If they go Love, they're going to have to move either Chestnut or Pollard or one of the other kid, number two. I can't the kid from Tulane that we picked up, and he's been a pretty good little running back. But they may have to move one of those guys. And then of course Jacob Martin, defensive end from the Commanders, he adds depth. Tony Adams, a safety, he adds depth if he can make the team. And he's from the Jets. He's another player being brought in by Robert Saleh because of his familiarity with him. And then, of course, Jordan Elliott's another defensive lineman that Saleh coached out at 49ers. He bought him in. So now we did pick up a tight end. That's Kylan Grayson from the Eagles. I don't know if he was played a lot or what, but he may have been the third tight end, I guess, up there at the Eagles. We bought him in. And then, of course, the offensive tackle from Texas, Deculus. Don't know that much about Deculus, but he can provide depth also, and so that's what's going on with the Titans on the on free agents. They still adding people. Right now they're up to 23 ads, and you only have a 53-man roster in pro football, and then of course after that, then that you do get some. You get an injury reserve, and then you get some physical unable to play slots, and that kind of thing, where you may wind up with more players out there that you have. Now if you got players on that what's it, that 12-man additional list where you can put players on the practice squad, they are vulnerable. You put those 12 players out on the practice squad, and other teams can come and grab them. So that's real tricky when you look at that in that aspect. But the just looking at, so we're gonna show you a little bit about what my mock draft. This is my third mock draft, and I think it may be my final mock draft because uh it's a lot of switching around getting ready to happen. But I'm gonna pop that over there to you so you can see it. But let me slow it down so I won't be flipping through there these PowerPoints. But anyway, yeah, like I said earlier, Fernando Mendoza, unanimous #1 overall pick. David Bailey, as you can see, I have the Jets taking David Bailey. He's a defensive end from Texas Tech, and then of course Arvelle Reese. I got Arizona taking him. Now Arizona right now does not have a quarterback since they traded Murray to the Minnesota Vikings. But the thing about that is they may want to drop back. If they drop back, then I think Tennessee's pick is going to be Jerymiha Love. And they may want to drop back so they could get some capital another. So I'm thinking here at 2, I got Pittsburgh taking Ty Simpson. So all that's going to change. I think he's going to probably, if they want to get Ty Simpson, they're going to probably try to trade with somebody and move back. If they don't draft, if they move back, they'll pick up another first round pick somewhere, another in there, or swap with someone to get Ty Simpson from Alabama. But this is just based on how, you're going to have a run with tackles. I mean, you got Francis Magiola, from Miami, and Caden Proctor, big tackle from Alabama, and then of course Sonny Styles is in the mix for the Titans also. Carnell Tate's in the mix for the Titans. Rubin Baine, I heard the general manager said that they knew about everything going on with Rubin Baine and the accident back in 2024, where someone died in his car in the accident. but they're saying they're good with him. The thing is, I don't think they'll draft Rubin Baine, but I got him going to Kansas City #9, and then Caleb Downs. Caleb Downs is probably going to go to the Giants with that second pick they picked up from the big trade. They traded Dexter Lawrence to the Bengals, and so now the Giants own the #10 pick. And it's going to probably be some more switching around too. And then Jamar Coy, I got him going #11 uh, to the Miami Dolphins. That's probably not going to happen because they're saying there was some issues. Teams had issues with the way his knee was repaired, and they think it may be some degenerate issues inside his knee that may cause him problems down the road. So I look, maybe Jamar's probably going to fall down, and with the possibility of that happening, he may go in a lower level in the first round. I still think he's going in the first round. And it looks like if Jamar falls, teams are going to jump on this Mansour Delane, defensive back from LSU. He's like the second defensive back out there. And then, of course, Mekhi Lemon, he's just an excellent player, very good route runner. And I think the Rams is waiting on him if he's available. Sadiq is the fastest tight end in the draft, 6'3", 245 pounds. He compares to the big tight end that played for the 49ers for a long time. He's comparable to him, and then he's comparable to some of the kids that the Browns has right now. Fane, the kid they picked up in the draft last year from Bowling Green. He kind of compared to those guys. Not very real tall, but he can run and he can catch. And then of course, receiver wise, the receivers, Omar Cooper, he moved. I got him going up there to the it looks like is it the Jets? Yeah, look like I got him going to the Jets. And then at number 16, and Monroe Field, another big tackle. It may be a run. A lot of these positions may be a big run on tackles, offensive tackles in this draft, because I think it's tackle heavy in the draft. You know, especially with Fano and Freeland and other big guys. Big guys that's going to go ahead of those guys. And then of course, Concepcion, Dylan Thiemann is the fastest safety, one of the fastest safeties come out in years. He's 6 foot 201 pounds out of Oregon. Got him going to the Minnesota Vikings. And then of course Casey Concepcion, wide receiver, catches he can catch, and he knows what to do with the ball when he gets in his hands. He did have some drops in college at either North Carolina State as well as Texas A&M, but he's going to be a good pickup for the Carolina Panthers if he's there. Spencer Fano, Dallas taking big Spencer Fano if he's there. All these tackles, there's no telling where they're going to go. It's hard to tell because Fano could go all the way back up there in the first 10 picks, or Monroe Field could go in the first 10 picks. It's just the way everything flows. And then, of course, Caden McDonald, another Ohio State player. He's the best defensive tackle in the draft. And got him going number 22 to San Diego. And, of course, Jim Harbaugh's familiar with him from the Big Ten at Michigan. And then another big tackle from Arizona State. Got him going to the looks like the Eagles. And we'll see what happens with that. Jordan Tyson's another one. Now, Jordan Tyson, is some teams that's in love with Jordan Tyson, and Jordan Tyson could get pushed all the way up to the top, up there in the top 5. And he could get pushed up there and knock out some people up there as a wide receiver. And some people like him better than they do Carnell Tate. But they're almost the same player. They're not very fast, but they're very good catchers of the ball, and they're very good route runners. Kendrick Funk, big defensive end, edge rusher. He's going to be a good player wherever he goes. Hopefully the Bears will get him. And then C.J. Allen may be the best linebacker next to Sonny Styles. Best off-ball linebacker, I wouldn't say off-ball. I said on-ball linebacker. They can play that Mike and Sam or play in the 43 or in the newer defenses that they play with the 34s. He could probably play that Mike and Sam in that defense, and of course Sonny Styles can play that too, and they're the two best linebackers in the draft, and then of course Blake Miller, another big offensive tackle, uh, uh, guard. It's a big guard from Texas A&M, Chase Bisontis. I got him going to Miami. So Miami has 2 first rounders right now. And then, of course, last but not least, I got Chris Johnson going, defensive back for San Diego State. He could move up higher also. Colton Hood could move up higher too, because I think with the bad news on McCoy, he's going to fall. He's going to fall, and hopefully he don't fall too far completely out of the first round. But that's the story. That's the story on mostly I'm talking about Tennessee Titans, what they're gonna do, and we just see what happens with the Titans. My plan is to be at the draft for the first round in Nashville on Thursday, if it be God's will, and hopefully we'll pick a good player that can help the Titans and help Cam Ward. If you pick Love, you're helping Cam Ward. If you pick Carnell Tate, you're helping Cam Ward. Just remember that, fans. Remember that. If you pick Arvelle Reese, you're helping the defense. And that could help Cam Ward too, because he can get the ball back. But Arvelle Reese to me is raw, because he's basically was a linebacker that they moved to a edge rusher. And he's young still. I think he had another year left in college, but he can develop real fast and be another. What was the guy we had back in the 98 team that went to the Super Bowl? 99 team went to Super Bowl. Javon Curse, and then but if we don't pick Love and we don't pick Tate, we're going to either grab Sonny Styles to go along with Gray at that on-ball linebacker spot, and so or edge rusher, you know. And then the other scenario I went over with you earlier, if we don't pick, if we pick one of the edge rushers at that number 4, somebody like Washington or the other guy, the number 2 guy from Notre Dame, if we pick those, I think his name's Jordan or something like that. Anyway, if we pick him, if we don't pick either one of those guys at that running back spot, and we don't pick Love, then we're going to look probably at Washington at number 35, or either that kid from Notre Dame at number 35. And both of those guys are capable of turning the whole entire running game around. To me, they're just as good as Love. Love, they can both of them catch the ball out of the backfield. They both run between the tackle, and of course Washington's bigger. And he's a big thumper. If you go back and if you don't think he can run the ball, go back and watch the Arkansas game against Tennessee. If you don't think he can catch the ball out of the backfield, go back and watch Washington in the Tennessee game. I'll tell you what kind of running back he is. 4'3" at 226 pounds. But with that said, that's going to end this show. Hopefully I'll have some more information for you before the draft. If I go to the draft party, which I'm planning on going, I'll probably do a live stream during the draft on Friday night, and possibly do a live stream on Saturday. But with that said, God bless each and every one of you. I appreciate and thank you for subscribing. I appreciate and thank you for liking, and I appreciate and thank you for the time I'm doing this. I'm just a fan just like you. I played a little football in my day, but I love doing this. This right here is something I love doing. I enjoy it. And remember to like and subscribe. And I'll see you. God bless you. And I'll see you on the next show. This is the Double A, the Shallow Cross Sports Network. We'll see you.